Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you what I eat in a day. I'm very food obsessed, if you're new to my channel and didn't know that. And so I'm going to be showing you not only what I ate, but also, for the most part, how I cooked it. I like to eat pretty healthy, but I don't really follow any specific type of diet. I'm kind of a fakeitarian. Lately, I've been upping my fat content. I try to get in a lot of produce when I can. This is just a day in my life, eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So let's hop right in. All right, so starting off with breakfast, I had this meal right here. So I pulled out my ingredients, and mushrooms are something that I really love. I buy them in bulk from Costco because I tend to eat a lot of mushrooms when I'm eating them. So as you can see, this is a lot of mushrooms. So I chopped them all up, kind of like medium small. That's not very specific, but I guess you can see. And then I chopped up a serrano pepper. I took out a chunk of the core just to reduce the spiciness just a little bit. And then I chopped it up into chunks. I love spicy foods, so I always add serrano or jalapeno whenever I can. Then I chopped up some of these heirloom cherry tomatoes that I picked up from Costco just into like little 4 pieces. Not really any particular pattern. There never really is when I cut anything, but you get the gist. So piled in my tomatoes and my serrano peppers into one bowl, as well as my mushrooms. Oh, so pretty. And then I took a sweet onion and I diced that up too. I think onions and eggs are so good. So yeah, just diced them up. And then I also chopped up some chives. I have been loving chives lately. We're actually working on growing them in our aeroponic tower garden right now, which I will totally let you guys know all about as soon as I can. And I'm also going to give you an outdoor garden update soon as well. But yeah, so then I added some cilantro as well. So I put the cilantro and the scallions, not scallions, just kidding, chives into a bowl. And then I grated some Kerrygold cheese that I also picked up from Costco. Then I decided that I also wanted to have some avocado on the side. So I opened up the avocado, and speaking of avocado, I used some avocado oil on my pan just to heat up my pan, and then I threw in my mushrooms and my onions first, and I stirred those around, let those cook for a little bit just to get softened. And I don't know, I feel like those just need a little more cooking than some of the other things I'm gonna add in. Speaking of which, I added some pepper and some salt to my veggies, but I like to add salt early on in the cooking process. I watched a whole video that apparently when you add salt to your food really does make a big difference. And by the way, I like specifically pink Himalayan sea salt. I think it's just better for you. And then I threw in my tomatoes and my serrano peppers, and I added a little bit more salt and pepper to that as well, and then just stirred them around while they cooked up. And once I felt like they were most of the way cooked, I dropped in 2 eggs into the pan. And I let those just cook up and stirred them around the pan to mix in with all of the veggies. This is just my version of making like a veggie scramble. I know some people like to mix the eggs before, but I don't feel like it makes the hugest difference. And then I threw in my shredded cheese into the pan as well. And once that cooked up for about a minute or so, it was what I deemed done. And I scooped it onto my plate. And then I added my cilantro and chives. And I added clearly a bunch. I make it like a whole separate herb salad on top practically. And then I threw on my plate also a chunk of avocado. And then on the side, I decided to make this little yogurt granola parfait. So I used this organic Greek yogurt from Trader Joe's. I pulled out some honey to sweeten it up because this was just unsweetened Greek yogurt. And then I took this granola that I got from Costco, threw that on top too. And then last but not least, I added some fresh berries to the bowl. Now I do want to say this was more like a brunch for me because I was doing intermittent fasting this day and I didn't eat until almost close to noon. So this really was brunch for me and it was so good, I can't even explain. And of course, on the side, I have to make some tea. Side note, I have a huge update to make, guys. I have a new favorite tea. I love this tea so much. I found it on my last trip to California from a little like tea food shop, and I've been ordering it online now because I'm so obsessed. This is huge news if you've been following my channel for a while, because I've been drinking the same tea for like 7 years. By the way, this is a peach apricot tea, so so good. So then I'm calling this lunch. This was really like an afternoon, kind of like small snack situation. So I decided to make some hard-boiled eggs because I wanted them for later in the week, and a smoothie, which I kind of showed at the beginning. So I put my eggs in the pan, filled it up with water, and let it boil. And while that was coming to a boil, I pulled out all of the ingredients for my smoothie. This has been my favorite smoothie recipe recently. I'm actually drinking it right now. It's so good. It's just like a peanut butter chocolate kind of smoothie. So I have been chopping up fresh bananas lately and throwing them in the freezer. So I threw my frozen bananas in. I did 2 scoops of the Vital Proteins collagen protein powder, about a tablespoon of peanut butter, and then a little baby, like, I don't know, pinch, handful, I don't know what you call that, cacao nibs, as well as maybe like half a teaspoon of honey and a little pinch of salt. This morning I actually added some vanilla extract too. So good. And then I blended that up. And then while I was still waiting for the eggs to finish, speaking of which, it like spurred my memory, I chopped up some bananas that I had on hand to throw into my freezer bags to kind of just like refill it. These bananas were needing to be thrown in the freezer, so I threw those in. And then I took my eggs off the boiling water, shook them around the pot because apparently that helps with the shells coming off easier, and then I put them in this ice bath to soak for a few minutes. This apparently stops the cooking process, and I had one of those with my smoothie as well. So for dinner, I had some leftover lasagna that I reheated and a salad. So I'm going to show you though how I reheat my lasagna. I basically scoop it into a glass Tupperware type container, and then I grate a little more cheese on top, scoop a little bit more sauce on top as well. And then what I'm going to do is cover it in tin foil and throw it in the oven. I think this is the best way to reheat lasagna because it really keeps the moisture in the lasagna, and adding the extra moisture just makes the whole thing taste fresh and like you just cooked it. Almost even better because the flavors have had a chance to kind of meld together the night before. So now, as you can see, I'm making my salad. So I used butterleaf lettuce because I'm obsessed with butterleaf lettuce, and I had a bunch that kind of needed to be used up. And then I took some of this organic spring mix from Trader Joe's, added that to the mix too. By the way, on the cutting board next to me, Dan decided to chop up some baby broccoli, or broccolini, to throw on a pan too to have with our dinner. So he stir fries it in avocado oil, garlic, and lemon juice. And while he was doing that, I chopped up some more heirloom tomatoes for my salad. I love these little heirloom cherry tomatoes. They're so good, and I love that you can buy such a big amount from Costco. Then I added some more chives. Like I said, chives have been pretty much my favorite herb recently, next to cilantro, which always holds first place in my heart. Scooped that onto the salad as well. And then I chopped up, speaking of which, some cilantro, threw that on top too. And then Dan, when his broccolini was finished, squeezed a bunch of lemon juice on top. This stuff is so good, I can't even explain. Oh, and I think he added some chili pepper flakes as well while it was cooking. Oh. So then I added some beets to the salad. I also buy these beets from Costco. They're just pre-cooked and then sealed in this like vacuum bag. It's the only way that we ever eat beets because I've only ever cooked a beet like twice. This is like the most convenient way to eat them, in my opinion. I'm also going to have some of these roasted Marcona almonds with rosemary from Trader Joe's on the side. And I'm going to take these sunflower seeds that I got from the Amazon 365 Whole Foods brand, and I'm sprinkling that on top. By the way, I did do a grocery haul of the Amazon 365 products. If you want to check that out, I'll link that down below. And then it was time to make my salad dressing. So I just took some olive oil. I didn't really do very clear measurements. I just poured a bunch of olive oil into a ramekin, added some red wine vinegar. Then I took a scoop of this garlic mustard aioli from Trader Joe's. Then I took a pinch of oregano, squeezed about 1 clove and a half of garlic into the mix too. And then I squeezed half of a lemon into the dressing too. I also added some red chili pepper flakes, some pepper, and some salt. And then I took this little like immersion blender frother thing and I mixed my dressing together like so. And that was it. So that completes my what I eat in a day video. I hope you guys liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you want to see more what I eat in a day videos. I can make these videos pretty easily because I just film like what I'm eating. So yeah, let me know and I will see you guys back here soon. Bye.